What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of REV Sports Wrap It Up. I am Josh alongside the lovely Soul. Soul, how we doing?
Doing good. Excited for the World Cup. Been watching some good finals. We got lots of sports to talk about.
We're going to get right into it. We're not going to talk about the Reds. No, it was a fun baseball season. The Yankees are still in second to the Tampa Bay Rays. The White Sox finally got their act together, and they're actually in first place in the Central. The Mariners are ahead in the AL West right now over the Rangers by 4 games, or 2.5 technically. So the Athletics have dipped. Atlanta's still crushing the East. Milwaukee's still really good, and the Reds are under 500. So we're joining Soul's team. We're joining Tushka's team as being terrible. So there you go. And keeping pace, the LA Dodgers are still really good at baseball too. So I also know the Brewers now, as far as a game to spotlight, the Brewers did beat the Athletics 15-14. So a lot of home runs in that one.
In a minor league stadium.
In a minor league stadium. So, and we've got some home runs to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Drive to left. It's a Vegas bomb to tie the game in the first.
Talk about cashing in quickly.
Singles. Here's Bryce Terang, the second baseman. Left on left.
Oh, boy, that ball was clipped big time by Bryce Terang. It's up and over the pool. It's a 2-run home run for Terang.
When the minor league stadium has a pool?
As Andrew Vaughn, a fly ball to center, but that's it. Real Volte going back, looks up, and this ball is gone.
Only time up.
Not like the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium.
Center field. Soderstrom gives the A's a big lead. A 3-run home run.
They're like, it's dark. We can do fireworks now.
Great Harrison. And welcome him to Summerlin, Nevada.
One away, and here's Zach Geloff, who doubled and scored in the second inning.
Fly ball to left. Nothing keeps the party going quite like a Gello shot. And the A's have a 4-run lead.
Base, 2 out. Nick Kurtz has struck out single and struck out.
High fly ball to left. Deep to left. Kurtz connects. And it's a 9-5 game.
Jake Bowers.
Oh,
the
this is another home run?
Away. You
Okay.
have to
Yeah,
think that
just another
Bowers
one.
is leaning towards left field.
How about dead center? It's way back.
Pitching was at a minimum.
Wake
this
up
game?
for Bowers. He's got a dozen homers on the season, and he goes to the deepest part of the ballpark. It's a 2-run game in Vegas.
3-run home run coming against Kyle Harrison. So seeing lefties not only better, but with more power.
And as I say that, light tower power beyond the pool again. And the A's
Beyond the pool again.
Double-digit runs and lead 10-7.
They don't want to land in the pool.
2 for 4.
Beyond.
A drive, deep center field.
He got all of it. He fell back on his ass.
What a bomb from William Contreras on 3-0.
Now, righties and lefties fear Kurtz this year.
High drive to right. It's a 1-run game. His second homer of the game, 14-13. This game is
Score 2 homers and still lose.
The tying run does come up. It's now Jonah Hyde. Hit in the air to right field. Back goes Perkins at the wall. And it is gone. It is gone. A tie game. Unbelievable. Down to the final strike. Hyde has tied it. It's 14-14.
And the Brewers won. So
And the Brewers won.
yeah. Also, shout out to the Texas softball team for winning their back-to-back. They destroyed Texas Tech. It wasn't even close either game. Well, I'll take that back. The second game, it ended up being 4-1, but Texas really didn't pull away until the 7th inning. Where I think one girl hit a 2-run shot to put them up 3-1, and then they drew in another run. So they really didn't pull away until late. Whereas the first game, it was over pretty quickly. For that, we've got the college men's World Series this weekend, and there you go. As far as collegiate sports is concerned,
Congratulations, Texas.
Congratulations, Texas. And can't do it. Stop the blood. There you go. Nope. You got to do it. Yeah. And freaking the Texas men might win theirs. So there you go. Anyway, but that I know we got a lot to cover. So there's baseball.
There's baseball.
So,
ready for
all right. So before we get into it, it's going to be tied. Right now, it's 81-52 Spurs in the third. Yeah, it's going to be a tied series, guys. It's going to be a tied series. But before the finals, Elmo tweeted out that he hoped both teams had fun and New Yorkers weren't having it in true New York fashion. So we got a slide for that.
We got several of people, New Yorkers, cussing Elmo out. This isn't the time for sportsmanship, Elmo. These streets ain't Sesame.
No.
Don't you dare forget your roots, you little red fuck. That one I think is my favorite. Sure, Elmo, if you're neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. That one. And I know. I hope Elmo gets priced out of New York and has to move to New Jersey. You live in NYC, you fucking traitor. I'm so sick of centrist New Yorkers. And then Knicks fans were typing in a thick New York accent in those comments, calling Elmo a pussy. And then we got Elmo, you don't understand. Knicks fans will literally sacrifice you to some bodega cat. Chill out. And he was like, not y'all cussing out Elmo for supporting both basketball teams. He's 3 years old. A 3-year-old New Yorker, he knows better. And then the New York City Department of Transportation said, don't make us take this down, which is the Sesame Street sign. So New York is not having it with Elmo. They cuss his ass out.
No, and I know Danhausen, who's been a part of the whole Knicks situation, the wrestler, he also I forget exactly what he said to Elmo, but yeah, he also was chirping him. And speaking about wrestling, join me and Justin Turner tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern for Ruckus Wrestling to break down the week that was and the weeks that will be in the world of wrestling. So join us there tomorrow on that. But the Knicks did win game 1 and 2 in San Antonio to then have bad vibes for a certain someone, ruin the mojo for game 3. And it looks like in game 4, a certain other someone is ruining the vibes there. For that one, destroyed the vibes for game 4.
All the curses.
Actually, if you think about it, no one wants to win at home. So once they go back to San Antonio, put the Knicks up on the board. That's what I've got for game 5 on that. But before game 3, this fantastic Knicks fan happened here.
I'm Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior, my man.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, that did not happen.
Nope.
But it was a little cool slogan and saying while it did exist for about 24 to 48 hours.
It became a vocal stim for literally like everyone, even people not from New York, just walking around going, my mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior, Nixon 4.
Oh, yeah. About the game, obviously, articles from legit journalists have come out about the Trump curse. One writer, Will Weissert of the Associated Press, wrote, if Donald Trump is coming to the game, bet on the visiting team. In his first term, the Washington Nationals lost Game 5 of the World Series to Houston Astros when he was in attendance. Last November, the Washington Commanders lost to the Detroit Lions 4-4-22 with him at the game. He was front and center at Bethpage Black when Europe topped the U.S. golf team in the last fall's Ryder Cup. Weissert goes on to write, if the trend holds, it may not be great for the U.S. national team in the World Cup. We got that. So I know you have such loving words about it. So there you go.
To me, it's less that he was there because it's more of the everything surrounding him being there, him closing off that perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't. Now, granted, to get into that building, you were paying buku bucks. So the people that he was annoying getting into that building, having to arrive really early, were people that could afford getting into that building.
Right.
And so having to come early, having to go through all that stuff, that I'm less, yeah, it's annoying. If I was in their shoes, I might be upset about having to arrive early or whatever. What I feel more strongly about is all the businesses that were in that area. So him coming to the game was like a few days. The announcement of him coming was like a day or two before. And to order for food and drinks and things of that comes earlier. So if you are a restaurant in that area, you probably ordered a bunch of food and drinks and things of that nature, and now you're not making any revenue that night, which you were probably going to make a lot of revenue because people were going to be outside of that stadium cheering for the Knicks. Anyone who's a cab driver, Lyft driver, Uber driver, probably was going to make a lot of money that night. They're not. So for him to go to a game and then fall asleep at a game and then leave after halftime ruined the New York economy of that one inside that one perimeter and ruined things for everyday people and everyday New Yorkers. So that's where I feel bad. And that's where I have a problem with things of this nature. Presidents past have wanted to go to events and then realized what the hassle to go to an event was and then just didn't go because you're a president, you're a celebrity, like you're a celebrity, you're a this, you're like you need to have the security to go the places you need to go, and that can be really inconvenient to people. So I feel like it was an inconvenience that didn't need to happen.
Nope. You got invited by the owner. You went. You're the president and had assassination attempts against you multiple times. The Secret Service is going to do what Secret Service does. That being said, I get what you're saying 100%, especially being a Louisvillian. It has nothing to do with the president being there, but when outside forces mess up with the economy, it sucks because when they pushed the Oaks race tonight, that pushed out a lot of restaurants from their reservations and things. But thankfully, that actually didn't affect it as bad because people still didn't stick around for the Oaks because they had their reservations, so they went to them. But yeah, outside forces messing up with the economy is just never fun. That being said, Knicks fans beating up other people that have other opposing jerseys is not a good look either.
No. They were doing their best Philly impressions.
Yeah, so we were like, "Those were Philly." I've heard that. I go, "Those were Philly. Those were Philly plants." I was like, "Well, they get to the dude wearing a Halliburton jersey last year." So, and then I did see there was like 4 or 5 cops got assaulted. And so that's why shout out to GIF posted that broken down New York saying if the Knicks lose, if the Knicks win, if the Spurs win, it's the same picture, just a torn up New York. So it's like,
which New Yorkers just like, Philly destroys their city, win or lose. Why don't we destroy our city too?
Yeah. And then here in West Virginia and in Lexington, Kentucky, they like to just burn shit.
Mm-hmm. So Lexington, win or lose,
will burn your
couches. Set shit on fire.
They will set shit on fire.
That's what you know about you. When you live in Kentucky, what you learn about UK fans is they love setting shit on fire,
especially couches. Which it's kind of like the Hatfield and McCoys because West Virginia does the couch burning too, and so they're trying to claim which one. I'm like, you're both idiots. Both drunken redneck idiots that burn shit. I mean, yes, we're all kind of.
You're just like Appalachia. I'm a burn shit.
I'm a burn shit. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Everyone's got what's the word for like someone just obsessed with burning stuff?
Pyromaniac.
Pyromaniac. Thank you. I was like, it's not a arsonist because that's just a crime, but a pyromaniac is just obsessed with people burning stuff. So.
But to like actual like basketball of it all, it was a good game. I enjoyed that game a lot.
Other than this game, this series has been so much fun.
Yeah. And it's been really back and forth, and it shows how basketball is a game of runs, and you really don't know until the fourth quarter.
No. Except for this game. This game's done. But The Spurs are up by 29 right now.
Because like the Spurs took a really big lead in Game 3, and then the Knicks came back, and then it was just like they were just neck and neck.
Yeah, well, they're only up by 18. They're only up by 18, so you never know.
It's under 20. It's under 20.
19 technically. Sorry, 19. Yeah. Bad at math, but yeah, at one point they're almost down by 30.
We know our wonderful Justin, who you shouted out that you do a show with on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. He is rooting for the Knicks. Sean's rooting for the Knicks. I think I'm rooting for the Spurs, but I'm happy either way. I enjoy both teams.
Wemby is different.
Yeah,
we're gonna just get used to Wemby. I don't know how long it's gonna take the people to finally get, all right, I'm done with Wemby, but right now everyone likes Wemby. But yeah, if Wemby keeps going and barring injuries, with him being 7'5" and joints and stuff, just when you're that tall, your body tends to not cooperate at a
That's
longer
what the Shaolin monks are for.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, that was one thing that was weird that I read, where Wemby like took his shoes off and just walked around barefoot in Madison Square Garden after his first like finals win, and I'm like, I get it, but it's also Madison Square Garden. You're walking around barefoot, so. But I get it.
Hey, there's something Wemby and I share in common. Of I was in New York City and I was in high heels, and then I said, fuck it, and I walked barefoot on the way home from the club.
You didn't get Ebola from the rats?
No, I did not.
No. Okay. But yeah, no, this series, I kept like asking people around here. I was just like, is it me, or is this series like better than I can I can't remember a series that's been this much fun. It's just back and forth. Each team's taking shots at each other. It's physical. They're letting them play. And they're like, yeah, I don't even like, some people are like, I don't even like NBA. And I was sitting there watching every second of it. So,
and I know that we've been talking about how the NBA has gotten, like, for lack of better terms, more and more boring year after year.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have an exciting final, because you and I are basketball fans. So we want the NBA to be exciting. And the NBA is exciting and the WNBA is exciting right now. So we got some good basketball going on.
Yeah, we got old CC hitting game winners, but they also beat the Dream. Tell us about it. So we got
Indiana Fever beat the Atlanta Dream 83-71. Kelsey Mitchell, he's just too good. Dropped 25 points, and she was 11 for 15 from the field. Caitlin Clark had 17 points, 6 for 17 from the field. Angel Reese had an 11.10 rebound double-double. We got Atlanta Dream. They beat the Washington Mystics 109-77. We're mainly talking about this game because the Mystics coach went insane and got ejected. I don't even fully know what he was mad about exactly. I just know that like he saw red and he kept going for the ref, and all his assistant coaches were trying to pull him back, and then it got to the point where they had to get security involved. So this man, I don't know what happened to him, but let's watch.
There you go and click it.
First half, and a turnover near midcourt. Reese draws the foul on Floreth. And all Floreth could do was just try to not let her get the shot up, right? But Lauren Betts at the top of the key didn't hold her seal. Angel Reese did a good job of staying unsealable, if you will. And then Floreth got a piece of her. She was going up for the shot.
And right here, Angel goes to sit down, and then over. The coach is starting to already go crazy, but we don't see it yet. He's not in screen yet.
And when you see the disparity in how that's borne out.
And now there he is.
Just doing Angel Reese things. Yeah, I mean, she just passed the
whatever that referee said to him.
Mark. Now, Sydney Johnson is upset.
And he keeps going through his assistant coaches like, no, I'm going to go talk to her.
He is heated, has to be held back. Oh, he is still going after the officiating crew.
Nice.
He's seeing it on the replay, and he is incensed right now. They're trying to calm him down. Look, 4 bodies. You see Kiki Iriefin coming over saying, we're good. Well, they need to, he needs to.
Yeah, Sydney Johnson still going after the referees. Now Sydney Johnson going to be escorted off of the court.
I'm not, he was.
Sydney Johnson headed towards the locker room.
Yeah. So I like how that one cop like grabbed him and like started, and then the other cop like pulled him away. It was like,
yeah,
don't get caught for harassment. The guy was like, I'm trying to get him off the court.
The one cop like is almost like a side hug.
Right. On that, but it's probably what we've all said. You know, he probably had a tipping point with the refs, and they called something that wasn't called on the other end, and it got to a boiling point, and he
saw red.
He saw red. So there you go. He saw red wearing red.
And going to the point where you're pushing past your own assistant coaches, where like you're running through your assistant coaches trying to get to the ref, crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with him. We'll find out. But yeah, that was a crazy thing. And in that, surprise, Angel Reese, another double. 18 points, 17 rebounds. Then next up, we got the New York Liberty beat the Indiana Fever 83-75. Brianna Stewart dropped 30. Jonquel Jones was 2 points away from a double-double with 8 points, 12 rebounds. We said it a bunch last year that when Jonquel Jones gets a double-double, the New York Liberty wins. So she didn't get a double-double this time, but she was close. It's when she's not playing well, the New York Liberty lose. So we need her on the trajectory of getting those double-doubles as a New York Liberty fan, so that way we can continue winning. Stewie's always going to probably have the most points. It's going to be between Stewie and Sabrina, although Sabrina she played like a game or two, and then she's been out again because of her back. I hope she's okay. So she's been on the bench. We got Stewie with the points. We got Jonquel Jones with the double-doubles. We going to win. And then efficiency seems to be what's hurting the Fever this year, even though the last game, Kelsey did have a good field goal percentage. But if you look at the efficiency rating of like all of the Fever players, especially in this game, it was low. And you have Kelsey Mitchell did drop 21 points, but she was 7 from 21 from the field. Caitlin Clark was 4 from 14 from the field for 10 points. So it is one of those, we talked about it a few weeks ago, of like, the Fever seem to be one of those like high clip where we're going to keep shooting towards the basket. And that's going to bring your efficiency rate down. But if you are getting a lot of points, whether your efficiency rate is low or high, it's not that big of a deal if you're getting points on the board. But if you're not getting points on the board, that's when people are going to start looking at your efficiency rating. And when you're losing games, that's when people are going to start looking at your efficiency rating. So I would like to see a little bit more efficiency because I want the Indiana Fever to be good and do good. So I don't know what they need to do to bring their efficiency rating up, because I don't want them to take less baskets.
Right.
I just want them to make those baskets,
They're fun to watch. It just doesn't put the ball in the basket. They're fun to watch.
And we don't want it to get to like the NBA games where you have people shooting from 3 and it's not going in the basket, and then you go like 4 minutes without a field goal. And you're just like, people are just throwing the ball at the basket, basically.
Right.
I'm being a little hyperbolic with the 4 minutes, but it sometimes feels like 4 minutes. Then we have the New York Liberty beat the Connecticut Sun 89-80. Han Shu gets her first start in the WNBA, scoring 14 points. She did replace Jonquel Jones, who was a late scratch due to illness. So I don't know where in between, because she was dressed for when she got her number retired, and then she did not start the game. So I don't know what happened in between that. Maybe she went to the locker room and threw up, and they said, okay, you're not playing. Who knows? I guess maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't. Brianna Stewart, she did have 28 points in that game. And as we were saying, JJ got her jersey retired with Connecticut. That she used to play for Connecticut. She won her WNBA MVP award when she was playing for Connecticut. I believe she went to a finals with Connecticut. So, and now she's got her jersey retired. And we got that here.
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh, good. So congrats to JJ. And then Hanshu, who's gotten the nickname Hani. Hani's thoughts on JJ getting her her number retired.
And happy for her. She's so nice. She's a nice person, nice people. And even she's tired yesterday for the travel, but she still remember I want to have a Chinese food, and she bring me to eat a Chinese food.
Can you bring me?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I feel
Brianna Stewart also wants that Chinese food. But thoughts on JJ getting her jersey retired?
Well deserved. Yeah. She's been talk about professionalism and consistency. That's JJ. You don't get your jersey retired because you're good for you. Just an pat on the back at a boy. Like, you got to be freaking good, right? They don't give jersey retirements away.
And a jersey retirement while you're still an active player.
Well, the only time I guess you can say they gave a jersey retirement away was Shadur Sanders, but that's beside the point.
And then we got 2 more games to go through. The Las Vegas Aces beat the Seattle Storm 101-91. Asia Wilson scored 24 points to become the fastest in WNBA history with 6,000 career points. She also had 12 rebounds and 9 assists to be 1 assist shy of a triple-double. And in this game, she also had 3 blocks. Jackie Young seems to be fully back from her scoring slump, scoring 29 points. Melissa Smith had a field goal percentage of 100% in this game, going 6 for 6 with 16 points. And as I've been speaking every week, French players in this league are playing so fucking good. And they're going to be a problem come Olympics time.
Both men and women?
Both men and women, but like, this is even a different person. Dominique Malonga of the Storm. I really like her game. She got 19 points in this game, even though the Storm lost. The French are scary, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked last week about how people are sleeping on the Minnesota Lynx, and they got a big win against the Dallas Wings, 100-76 this past week. Olivia Miles, she's that girl. And she's far and away the favorite for Rookie of the Year this year. And it's still like fairly early in the season. And I think if people were placing their bets with Vegas before the season started, they probably would have given like, oh, AZ's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. But it's looking like it's going to be Olivia, just the way she's playing, the way she's impacted the team with Minnesota after a lot of players left in free agency. She's good. She's really good. And she looks like she's been there a while, and this is her rookie season. So it's fun to watch.
She was badass for Notre Dame.
Yeah. And then Olivia Miles, she had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 70% field goal percentage, and 2 of 3 from 3. And then we get Kayla McBride, also had a 70% field goal percentage with 22 points. Natasha Howard had a field goal percentage of 80% with 21 points. So that's what I got on the WNBA. Thoughts?
Yeah. Real quick. GIF. RIP Stacey King for the Bulls. The color commentator. Right now for the WNBA, is it going to be the Lynx and the Aces again? Like, is that what we're looking like? I know the Dream's not going away, and neither is the Liberty, but I don't know. Just those two teams just look just a step above the other ones.
I mean, Aces, never going to count them out from anything, whether they're doing good or bad. And they proved last year that they could be in the 8th seed and then go on a spectacular run at the end of the season and go up the leaderboard. And so I never count the Aces out, no matter where they are on the board, and they're in a good spot. Minnesota, they could sneaky get to the finals, and no one's going to be talking about them until they get to the fucking finals.
I know we were monitoring them last year, but they're still just they don't get the headlines because they don't have that star that gets the headlines.
And like they got
Nafisa
Collier.
Really good. I mean, yeah, Nafisa, but you're gonna talk. Yeah. You're gonna talk. There's other players that draw headlines that draw. Headlines.
In like Nafisa, I would say she is a star, but she's also been injured this year too. And maybe if she wasn't injured after like the shakeup that she had at the end of last year, maybe there might be a little bit more eyes on Minnesota. But then you also had a lot of players leave Minnesota as well. So maybe people were thinking, oh, there's some trouble in Minnesota. But it seems like Cheryl Reeves, whoever she has on the court, they're playing Cheryl Reeves basketball. They're gonna be good. New York Liberty, they're the ones that have the shiny star power, but they also, like, in some ways are playing worse than they were in the last 2 years and having to figure it, because, like, New York Liberty last year, you'd be like, they knew how to close out games, and that's one of the problems that the New York Liberty is having this year is, like, and you saw that more earlier on, that they just weren't closing out games, but is that because there's issues this year and the way the new coach is, or is it because, like, JJ was injured at the beginning, Sabrina's still injured, Satu Sabali was out for a little bit, Leonie Febage was still in Europe playing Eurobasket with her team there, and we just got her back. So maybe a little column A, a little column B. It seems like we're playing a little bit more New York Liberty basketball now and I can't wait to get Sabrina back. And once we have all the pieces, then maybe. So again, I'm not going to count New York out. And Atlanta has been, like, really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Mystics, like, even though where they're at the moment, I just like their team as well. And they're young and scrappy, and who knows, maybe they get a playoff position as a lower seed, and then they make it all the way through the finals because they're young and scrappy, and playoff basketball is different. So you never know.
You never know. I mean, as we see, like, the NBA regular season, people are like, okay, and then the playoffs happen. You're like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So playoffs it's a different ball game when you get there.
Or like when the Heat we just need to get into the playoffs. Doesn't matter what seed.
Yeah.
Although this year not as much. We didn't do as good, but it's okay.
No. But we're not talking about a couple years. No. He had 83 points. You got that.
Yeah.
Bam getting 83.
And then, even though we're not at hockey yet, then Bam goes to, because he's in Vegas with his boo thing, goes to a Las Vegas hockey game wearing Las Vegas jersey. And then Florida.
He's not dumb, okay? He wants to stay in the relationship.
And then the Florida Panthers literally on their social media, like, Bam, what are you doing?
Bam even said, he was like,
and Bam then in the car with his Vegas jersey on, hold up his Florida Panthers jersey, goes, I don't forget where I'm from.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I was just like, nah, Bam, that's wild. You can't be wearing a jersey. Like, regardless of, like, all the other reasons to hate Vegas, you can't be wearing a jersey of a team that beat us in the finals in 2023. You can't be doing that.
Mm-hmm. Can't be doing it. Oh well, we'll get to hockey here in a second.
We'll get to hockey in a second. Where'd you go to kicking and screaming?
Yeah, because we got a lot, obviously, with the World Cup and all the craziness around it, bad and good about it. So we'll get into that. But put a pin in it, guys. The whole Brennan Sorsby becoming eligible after he bet $90,000 worth on sports and also on his own team, but yet they went to a judge, and the judge was like, "But if he doesn't play, then he's going to feel bad." It's like, well, you know what, Phil? He shouldn't have freaking bet on his own team. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'll get my thoughts on that next week.
We literally have a lot of stuff that we tabled for next week because there is a lot of shit to get through.
Right. With that, just leading into the World Cup. And but shout out, so kicking and screaming. Shout out to the two guys that are going to be watching every single game from Times Square. I think that's pretty cool that those two guys in the cube. That's pretty cool.
So, yes, we got the World Cup going on. Yes, we have the send-off games for the U.S. men. But you know what else we had? A U.S. women's national team June camp.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's what everyone is focused on right now.
Everyone is focused on. So the U.S. traveled down to Brazil, played 2 games in Brazil, and we lost our first game. It was 2-1. But Sophia Wilson, which Tushka's not here to say woo to his girl, but Sophia Wilson scored the first goal. Let's watch.
How about this take back? Sophia Wilson. Wilson has a goal. Wilson!
It's so early in the game, too.
Yeah. Well, so early.
You keep playing it.
First goal! How about this take back? Sophia Wilson. Wilson has a goal. Wilson!
And then, out of nowhere, in the second game against Brazil, we won 1-0. But the real talk of that game was the red cards. And it was crazy. I don't even know what the coaches got red cards for, which we will watch in a second. I fully understand what the players got red cards for. But before we get to the red cards, the first goal comes from a strike from Sophia Wilson. That was deflected off of Isabella Chagas, so it was ultimately named an own goal, but it does come from a Sophia Wilson strike.
It's about time she stepped up.
That great chance at the end of the first half denied by a wonderful save from Lorena. Sophia Wilson with the way opening up, gets the shot in, it's deflected in, and the United States lead.
Congrats. Then here comes the red cards. So first up, red cards come out for the Brazil coaching staff, and I believe 4 of the coaches get sent off. Let's watch.
And a red card is coming, presumably for Arthur Elias. He got a yellow in the first half.
She could not wait to give that card away.
I think maybe 2 reds. There's a few reds.
The whole staff is
Brazil
gone.
got anybody left on the bench. Definitely Arthur Elias.
That's bouncing up against her arm is what they're showing.
Takes off his bib, hands it to the ref. So we got red cards for the Brazilian coaching staff, and then we get red cards for the players. Here's the first red.
Still no one aware of just how much time will be added on. Wesley away. Great job from Patterson. Really good against Caroline. The Brazil bench up in arms once again, the ones to the left anyway. There aren't many.
I can only imagine what Arthur Elias and all the rest of the coaches who've been sent off are doing right now in the locker room. There'll be things being thrown.
Patterson does such a good job of getting her body in between the two. So the only option Caroline had was to foul because her body is there.
But again, the experience shown from Avery Patterson there in this situation, in just a 14th cap at 23 years old coming in here, to be able to win that free kick against Caroline, it's magnificent.
About to hit a free kick, and then here comes a second yellow, red.
So sent off.
This ref ain't playing.
Second yellow, and Bia Zanerato is done, and Sonnet is down.
Yeah, that was off camera. We did not see that.
And then we will see this Sonnet with a little shit housing.
Nope.
Sonnet comes behind, pushes her, and then she.
Hey.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And then Zanerato
this one for a while.
just refuses to leave the pitch for a while as the Brazilians are arguing with the ref.
Sonnet.
Well,
God love her.
If this is any indication of what the World Cup might be like next.
And then look, Marta has a regular ponytail. She's not wearing her hair the way they usually do. Maybe that's why they didn't win.
That's it.
There is VAR, so they are now yellow for Dickey, maybe for time wasting.
But again, like, why a yellow for her for time wasting if Brazil's still arguing with the ref? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get that because Sonnet's
will be added on, and it will be a lot more now because Bia Zanerato won't leave the pitch.
Yeah, and she's still on the pitch, so there shouldn't be any yellow for time wasting. But whatever.
We just talked about the experience of Emily Sonnet.
Yeah.
And I suppose that comes under game management.
But to your point, there is VAR. Like, they see that. They saw that what we saw.
Yeah.
And they still gave the red. I don't understand that.
Oh, that was definitely shithousering from Sonnet, though.
Yeah, for sure.
We will.
Marta's pissed.
Coming up. Might not be very long if this game keeps going.
Oh, she's just going off. Okay.
And she finally walks off the
And she
field.
finally goes off. But oh wait, there's more.
Well, wait, there's more. Another player gets a red. Let's watch.
First time coming to an environment like this that is this jarring, this chaotic, and you haven't experienced it before as a team, it is very unsettling.
Elbowed in the face.
Pulled it back here for Emma Sears, but the whistle is
And
gone.
Rodman is pissed off because it's like, it should have been a play on. I could have scored a goal.
For Tarsiane for an elbow on Sophia Wilson.
Can't get away with
Brazil
greatness.
down to 9 players.
And elbow in face.
Not much doubt about that.
You see her coming back, actually looking for it here.
That's intentional. So 2 red cards for players, multiple red cards for coaching staff, including head coach Arthur Elias. Brazil unwinding in stoppage time. Yellow for Marta now, I
And
think.
Marta got a yellow.
11 yellow cards. And maybe the
11.
referee right now just needs to blow the whistle.
Goes to 11.
In the 99th minute, because this is not going to calm down.
No.
Oh, it's the game that never ends.
Never ends, people.
My friend.
And she finally walks off the field. So she walked off the field a little bit quicker than her teammate.
Yeah.
And then the ref blows the whistle for the end of the game, and you think, this is the end of the game.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any more reds. You would be wrong.
You would be wrong.
You would be wrong. So much so that security came to stand around the referees. So let's watch.
Finish this one. And why not just kill time? And there it is, the United States holding on in a crazy, chaotic match. And it is the deflection off the Sophia Wilson shot.
And another red card shown now, maybe towards Caroline. A night of utter chaos in Brazil. But ultimately an incredible experience for Emma Hayes' team a year out from the World Cup. They win the game. Sophia Wilson with a strike deflected in by Isabella. It's been given as an own goal. There were more cards shown at the final whistle. A game that has seen 2 Brazil players sent off, 4 coaches. And security coming out to stand by the referees here. But this is a night where the United States battled bravely. Where they went toe-to-toe with Brazil and came out on top. Where some of the younger...
Now, Josh is still gone at the moment. But yeah, wild game there where you have multiple red cards, all the red cards on one side. You got some yellows. Here's Josh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Drinking a lot. I'm trying to stay hydrated. So, yeah.
It's a crazy game there. Lots of red cards, all the red cards on one side. Because usually when you have a game with lots of red cards, it's both sides getting reds. But now it's all on Brazil. Now there's a lot of yellow cards on both sides of for both the US and for Brazil. But yeah, lots of reds.
A lot of reds. A lot of reds. Yeah. And speaking about reds, they suck at baseball right now. Pissed. Figure it out.
Now, I don't know here. What do you mean almost here? It's tomorrow? I guess from like the World Cup is almost here. Yeah. It's almost here.
Almost here. That's the definition of almost here. It's not here yet, but it's damn close.
The first games are
Derby Entertainment.
Yeah, the first game's tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. It's 3:00 Eastern.
Yep. Now
and 9:00 at night for the men on Friday.
10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing Central Time on my head.
I know you are. Then we got back to what people care about, which is World Cup stuff.
Right.
And the U.S. men's national team, they have their send-off game with Germany. They lose 2-1, but it's not a loss that I'm too sad about because it is Germany. Usually when you play a team like Germany, you're not expected to win when you are the United States. It's always nice to possibly get a win out of it or a draw. I think we played well. I think what we've saw with both the Senegal game and the Germany game is that there's these like little individual errors that could cost us in the World Cup that I hope we button up and tighten because the World Cup is almost here. But we did get a goal in this game, and that goal comes from Anthony Robinson in the 37th minute.
Outswinger from Pulisic. Heads it away.
Goal Lasso.
And the back foot.
What a strike from Anthony Robinson.
What a strike, what a flip.
The game tied up with a moment of absolute magic.
Just give. That's all really the men needed.
I only have one comment.
Momentum going into.
You cannot hit a ball
even though we lost.
Than this.
Just give it some momentum.
And here we beat Senegal, which is Senegal is no joke.
Senegal's no joke.
And then we played well against Germany.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And a golazo.
I don't know what the odds are.
Well, it's
Germany,
the reaction of Weston McKinney. Hopefully we get it.
Favorites.
All right, Balogun. Look at Balogun's reaction.
I don't think they're in the top 5, but they are in the top 10, I believe. Yeah.
Isn't there a rumor that Ponch is like already like has his one foot out the door, like looking for other jobs?
Well,
did I read
there
that
was
wrong?
a rumor with the AC Milan that he took a meeting with them, but
okay.
His contract ends when the World Cup ends, so I mean, I'm not going to be too upset with him interviewing for other jobs. I guess it coming out like right before the World Cup is not really good optics, but
no. Speaking about not good optics, hey, like that segue?
It is a very good segue. Good job, Josh.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
All right, guys. You know you like to hear me read a lot. So tell people what's going on about custom.
Yeah, I got a lot of reading. A lot of reading to do.
I'll just sit back and listen to you read so eloquently.
I'm going to ask for thoughts from you, though. So get ready. Pay attention.
Okay.
Keep your listening ears on.
All right, good.
So, first up, this is a crisis averted. This is actually something that could have been bad, but then a crisis averted. So, but still, it falls under we have our title here, World Cup issues. So, first up, SoFi Stadium workers voted to authorize a strike ahead of the World Cup. But then they reached a tentative deal, so one crisis averted.
Like the WNBA, when you thought we weren't going to have a season, boom, got it done.
right at the last moment.
Yeah.
All right. In a last-minute change to its policies for the World Cup, FIFA banned fans from bringing refillable plastic water bottles into stadiums. But then they reversed that decision after a lot of backlash. People were like, hey, it's going to be real hot. This has been your rule. For all World Cups, people could bring in refillable water bottles. Now you're not allowing us. What the fuck? So, like all FIFA tournaments past, each fan is now allowed to bring one soft plastic 20-ounce sealed disposable water bottle. So you can't bring in a thermos or something, but you can bring in a water bottle like a Zephyrhill, or if you want a Dasani, gross. But so those are things that ended up being good news, but started off as bad news. Now, you ready for bad news?
Score check. The Knicks are only down by 9.
Shit. Hey, basketball, game of runs.
Game of runs.
Game of runs. All right.
All right. Yep. Hit me with all the bad news.
All the bad news. Okay. FIFA has a rule in place that requires host nations to allow teams, staff, and fans of nations who qualify for the tournament to come to their country. It is a requirement to be a host, and host privileges can be taken away for not following that rule. The most recent time this has happened was in 2023 when FIFA stripped Indonesia of hosting rights from the U20 World Cup because Indonesia refused to let any Israelis who had qualified for the tournament to enter their country. Argentina then became the host that year. How previous hosts have handled visa situations: in 2014, Brazil passed a law giving free temporary visas to ticket holders. For 2018, in Russia, and 2022 in Qatar, they bypassed border friction using fan IDs and Haya cards. So there's ways to do this. Look at past World Cups. By these rules, the U.S. should have been stripped of our hosting abilities already. I love the U.S. team. Huge fan. But rules can't just apply to some. It's either rules apply to everyone or rules apply to no one. And this is one of those where the rules apply to some, but not to all. And as much as I wouldn't want the U.S. to be banned from things or be stripped of our hosting privileges or be told we couldn't play literally by the letter of the law, that is what should be occurring.
Yeah, it's FIFA.
That is FIFA. So like Russia with the Olympics, technically we broke the same rule as them during the Olympic truce and should be banned from the next Olympics, but that's not going to happen. So rules don't apply to us, apparently.
No, neither does it to Brendan Sorsby, but that's beside the point. We'll talk about it next week.
So we have Iraq's top scorer, Ayman Hussein, was detained and questioned for almost 7 hours when he arrived in Chicago. Quote, why is America hosting the World Cup if it's so hostile to foreign nationals? Ayman Hussein said. Then the Iraqi team photographer, Tala Salah, was denied entry into the U.S. He was questioned for 10 hours and then deported. Then we have Switzerland's forward, Briel Mbolo, had a 2-day delay from entering the U.S. for the World Cup when he was told his ESTA, electronic system for travel authorization, was revoked when the team was boarding their plane to L.A. His visa was ultimately approved, and he will be playing in his 3rd World Cup. But that was one of, like, his team flew to L.A., and he was stuck in Switzerland, kind of thing. And people were like, is this because he was born in Africa? Maybe there's because he has citizenship there. There's certain nations that are being targeted right now, as we will continue on. When you look at the comparisons of how teams are being welcomed who have their base camps in Mexico and Canada and how they're being welcomed to the U.S., not a good look. Mexico has mariachi bands welcoming their guests when they come off the plane. The U.S. is patting down the Senegalese team like they're suspects for a crime being forced to lengthy searches. The U.S. also had bomb-sniffing dogs searching the Uzbekistan national team. So these are...
I don't know about the Uzbeks, man.
The Uzbeks. So we got viral videos of that, of people, and they're putting it side by side of, like, here's the Spanish national team coming off the plane, and there's mariachi bands. And then it was like, and then here's Senegal in the U.S., and then it goes back to Mexico, and it's just like, here's another team coming off the plane to mariachi bands, and then it's showing, so it's going back and forth, just showing the stark differences to how we are as a host are treating our guest. They're supposed to be guests. They're supposed to be treated well. We're not really treating people well. Then, speaking of not treating people well, the treatment of Iran's team and their fans, also not a good look. All of Iran's games are in the U.S., but they are being forced to have their base camp in Mexico because the U.S. is not authorizing them to stay in the United States. So they're playing in Seattle and in LA, but they have to stay in Mexico, and the U.S. has allowed them to have day passes. So they basically have to get on a plane the day of, go play a game, and then get on a plane and go back to Mexico the same day. When it comes to athletes traveling, this is a major disadvantage to the Iranian team and a major toll on their bodies. This is really not fair to them. They qualified for the World Cup. They should be treated like everyone else. And to have the entire team be forced to play in Mexico and then be forced to fly long distances twice. Mexico to LA is not as long as a flight, but it's still a flight. Mexico to Seattle is a pretty long fucking flight. So really not fair. 15 members of the Iran team staff have been denied visas, preventing them from supporting their team during the World Cup. FIFA requires host nations to grant visas to all necessary support staff, but FIFA is looking the other way when it comes to Iran. This week, Iran was informed that FIFA was going to strip their World Cup ticket allocations just days before kickoff. The federation said the move left them unable to provide even a single ticket to Iranian supporters through the normal national allocation route. The national allocation is not just inventory, it's the official path many fans expect to use when following their teams abroad. This means that any Iranian who had tickets through the ticket allocation, who had paid money for those tickets, airfare, hotels, etc., are basically shit out of luck. They're not being allowed into the country. Then we have the South African national team arrived in the U.S. much later than planned because part of the delegation was not granted their visas. They eventually were given, but they, again, on a delay. Then, what the fuck do we have issues with the Scottish now? Because some Scottish supporters, despite being eligible to enter the U.S. visa-free under the ESTA program, had their travel authorization revoked just days before departure. Again, these fans have paid for tickets, airfare, hotels, etc. First Minister John Swinney said that he had contacted U.S. officials over the issue and would do all that he can to help those affected. And then he said, I have asked officials to convey our hope that they can resolve so that the Scotland fans not miss out. There's a few Scottish fans who basically just said they're not going anymore. they've sold their tickets back to FIFA. They said, you guys ruined this for us. Like, there's no point in, because I have to buy another plane ticket to the US on last minute. There's no point in going anymore. So these are dreams, and people save up for this, and then they're being shattered because of immigration processes. And I get that it makes sense that we're being shitty to Arab nations and African nations, but the Scottish?
It's a it's the old Robin Williams joke of he calls out like like these are just random checks, right? This is random, perfectly random, and he basically does the has it been fucked? You know, just like that whole thing he goes through, and then Judy Smith. It's like 4 Arabs and a white woman. Like, all right, so Scottish is the white woman in the joke. It's like, no, we're not targeting certain nations because
random. Look, Scotland,
right? That's basically. I'm trying to make light of situations, but go on.
And then lastly, and this one's really sad because Omar Artan said like one of his dreams was to ref in a World Cup, and he had made that dream come true, and then because the U.S. are being dicks, he can't make that dream come true. So the U.S. denied entry to Somali referee Omar Artan. He was the first Somali referee selected by FIFA to officiate the World Cup. The Somali embassy provided Artan with a diplomatic passport, and he had secured a 3-month visa before flying to Miami, but he was detained when he entered. Artan was subject to 11-hour interview before being deported. Artan put out a statement, I am in a positive mood and focused on the next challenge in my refereeing career. I would like to thank FIFA and CIF for their support, and I promise to maintain my refereeing standards as I look ahead. He also thanked the football community for their messages, wished his fellow referees success at the World Cup, and says he looks forward to joining them again in future competitions. There was no clear explanation that had been given to him why he was denied entry, because he did have a diplomatic passport and 3-month visa that was approved before entering the Miami International Airport, but they still denied him entry. Artan has officiated at the Africa Cup of Nations and at the 2025 FIFA U20 World Cup held in Chile, and is considered one of the best referees from Africa. Canadian politician leaders publicly welcomed Somali referee Omar Artan to officiate matches in Canada after he was denied entry into the United States. However, due to strict FIFA tournament protocols requiring all match officials to be based in Miami for training, he is effectively sidelined from participating and not allowed to referee, even though he would have been allowed into Canada. So that really fucking sucks for him. And again, we're just treating people like assholes in this country. And then it's not just players and fans. The International Sports Press Association, AIPS, has written to FIFA after countless journalists from Iran and African countries have faced U.S. visa restrictions ahead of the World Cup, despite being accredited by FIFA to cover the tournament. FIFA hasn't done, they wrote this letter to FIFA saying, hey, you accredited them. And to get the FIFA accreditation, you have to go through shit to make sure, like, you're not a terrorist, you're not a this, you're not a that. You go through an accreditation process, like, that you get vetted. So these are vetted journalists who now are not being allowed to come into the country, even though by FIFA rules, host nations are supposed to allow these people into the country. And then they've messaged FIFA saying, hey, what the fuck? And FIFA hasn't done shit or said anything about it. They're just allowing the US to do whatever the fuck they want, even though it is against the rules. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was going to be a cluster with customs months ago.
Yeah.
Even years ago. We knew exactly what was going to happen. So to sit there that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I'm not shocked about it.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Not surprising. Do I like that it's been a cluster F? No, not at all. And we'll get to some positive stuff about people that actually got here or having positive experiences once they're here. But yeah, it's just... It is what it is with the situation. And does this surprise me about FIFA not doing shit? No. I saw also the comments from the head of FIFA. I forgot his name.
Gianni Infantino.
Yeah, and basically some reporter asked him, and he said when the Women's World Cup comes and it's going to be hosted in England, and if they decide to deny people because that's their immigration laws, we're gonna hold true to that. And I'm like, you're also the organization that hosted a World Cup 4 years ago in a place that basically ruined all labor laws, and thousands of people died building those stadiums, and also have laws against LGBTQ communities who are not allowed to be gay in that. So the fact that they did pick that place to host, and then they're just allowing.
And then 2018 was Russia, which
right. So it's like,
Russia.
Is this surprising me that FIFA's not doing shit? No, they have a track record of like, yes, we are not detaining people. 4 years ago, if you were gay, I mean, that reporter, who knows what happened to him, and all the labor situation that happened, all those, people dying building those stadiums, and FIFA was just like, no, it's fine. And then you had one reporter go there and it's like, no, it's not fine, but still have it. So is this surprising? No, not at all. It sucks. I hate it. And when I looked into it, I'm getting mixed reports so I was trying to read into the whole visa and the diplomat thing, and I'm hearing way too much information. Then they said that he has ties to this terrorist organization. Was like, yeah, that's kind of a bunch of BS there. But then the terrorist organization releases a whole thing in support of him, but a lot of other people are supporting him because, hey, that organization is like, hey, this is a good time for us to release stuff so people know who we are, as far as like a PR thing. I don't even know, but there's no telling. It's just a big clusterfuck. That's what it is, and it's something that's not surprising.
It's basically he's being discriminated against because he's Somali.
Yeah,
and yes, there's a lot of issues.
Well, Canada has issues with some Somalian. I did see that where. Now, obviously, that they came out and was like, sure, he can come. But I did look it up. They do have strict laws about Somalian.
Yeah, like both Canada and the United States, because of just what's going on in Somalia,
right.
Has very strict entrance. Like, when it comes to people from Somalia coming to the United States or Canada, it's very strict. And they most likely aren't going to be allowed into the country. And mostly for good reason. Just of what's going on. Although you do have refugees and people that aren't doing anything wrong and just trying to escape a bad situation, but that's a whole different conversation.
But
this is a guy who, one, was picked by FIFA, vetted by FIFA. FIFA is not going to bring in a terrorist to referee the World Cup.
I guess when they said zero tolerance, they were like, hey, they're consistent. Zero tolerance bullshit.
So again, it's one of those things of FIFA is very corrupt, but FIFA is not going to put themselves in a bad situation by allowing people to be parts of things that are meddled with things like terrorism. They just aren't. No. So then if you do get verified by FIFA, then in that sense, it should be like, okay, they're cool. And it is the world's game.
Did FIFA vet Qatar to make sure they weren't going to break any labor laws? That would be my only counter argument with that.
Well, then did FIFA vet the United States and all the humanitarian laws we have broken?
Right. So
yeah,
to sit there and say oh yeah, we know we vetted him, he's good. I'm like, well, you have a track record of vetting certain things correctly. So
I think there is a difference between individuals and an entire host country. That has a lot of moving parts. Whereas this is an individual person.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But
anywho, it's really sad. It's really upsetting. It is something that I'm very excited about the World Cup, and then
it's got a stain on. It's got a stain on it.
We've got a stain on, and it was already going to have a stain because of certain things with our government, but then it got an even more of a stain by how FIFA is treating the United States when it comes to, the US, I could make money. Let me inflate prices to an exorbitant amount and really price out we promise we want to grow the game, but we're not going to allow for people who actually like can grow the game to allow them to come to games. So it's a lot of bullshit. It is a lot of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit. It sucks because it's supposed to be everyone coming together. Like the fact that we can't have tailgates. It's like
that's so American. We're supposed to be sharing our culture with the world.
What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name?
Freddie.
Freddie. We need Freddie at a tailgate.
We need Freddie at a tailgate. Imagine Freddie at a tailgate. We're gonna get to Freddie. We're gonna get to Freddie. Freddie is our treat. After all this bullshit, we're gonna get to him.
Yeah.
But speaking of Gianni Infantino, so former UEFA president Michael Platini has filed a criminal complaint against current FIFA president Gianni Infantino. Stand in line. We all have complaints. This was reported by ESPN. So FIFA president Gianni Infantino was targeted with a revived criminal complaint in France on Monday by his former boss, Michael Platini, who seemed destined to leave FIFA until being implicated in a financial wrongdoing case in 2015. French soccer great Platini, who was acquitted again last year after a second Swiss court trial, has asked lawyers in Paris to file a criminal complaint against Infantino and 5 other Swiss soccer and prosecution officials. Lawyers also will file a civil lawsuit seeking damages from FIFA, a spokesman for Platini said in a statement about the allegations, which were previously made in 2022 directed at Swiss authorities. The fresh filings were announced 3 days before Infantino opens the FIFA World Cup being played across North America that has let him often share a political stage with U.S. President Donald Trump. Infantino was elected FIFA leader in 2016 as a surprise candidate from European soccer body UEFA, where he was the longtime general secretary to its president Platini. Platini was widely expected in soccer circles to become FIFA president and succeed his former mentor Sepp Blatter, who was leaving office in fallout from U.S. federal investigations of corruption among soccer officials that were unsealed in May 2015. However, 4 months later, both Platini and Blatter were targeted in a separate Swiss investigation of 2 million Swiss francs, $2.5 million, payment to the Frenchman that would remove both from office early. Both Platini and Blatter were acquitted twice on charges of defrauding FIFA when they jointly stood trial in Switzerland in 2022 and again last year on appeal by the Federal Prosecution Office. The 5 men also targeted by Platini's criminal complaint include Switzerland's Attorney General in 2015, Michael Lauber, and FIFA legal director at that time, Marco Villager. So it looks like FIFA gonna be in some mo shit.
I mean, it's the sounds of the hourglass. It's like another day. I get older. They say the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Why does this surprise anyone?
Yeah. It's just like FIFA's corrupt. It's been corrupt for a very long time. There was shit that people were not happy with Sepp Blatter about. And people were hoping with Infantino that things might get better after like the whole U.S. investigation and all of that stuff. Go watch that documentary on Netflix, if it's still on Netflix, and just watch how corrupt FIFA is. But Infantino has been infinitely worse than Sepp Blatter, and I just need his ass to be like taken out, and not in a like taken out in a kill him way, taken out as in him not be president of FIFA anymore.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. Not condone that.
Yeah, we're not asking for murder. We're asking for being fired.
By the way, Knicks are up by 1 with 1.7 seconds left.
Ooh. See, you were saying they weren't going to come back at the beginning of this live.
Yeah. So we shall see. 1.7 is a lot of time because in the NBA they get it after you call a timeout. They get it on your end of the court. So, but OG, I cannot pronounce his last name. Anunoby, I think. Yeah, with the tip end.
Anunoby, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to get to a little happier stuff?
Let's get to the fun stuff.
Let's get some fun stuff.
We don't like covering it when it's just bad. It just brings the vibes down, but it's the World Cup. So
literally because the vibes were so down, but we had to cover all the bullshit. I was like, let's bring the vibes back up.
Right.
Let's highlight some players. Let's have some fun. So to bring the vibes back up, each week we're going to focus and highlight a few of our U.S. men's national team for you guys to fall in love with them, because we've fallen in love with them. Josh, I'm speaking for you. You've fallen in love with them.
Yeah.
But before we highlight, shout out to the Scuffed Girlies. We worked tirelessly to create a guide to this team. We'll have a link down below for you guys to see the slide
The
deck
next
that we
one,
made.
holy shit.
Next one, holy
shit. Sorry. You were on a roll, but had it.
Damn. Hey. Maybe you did a reverse curse on them by not believing in them at the beginning
Taylor
of the...
Swift is solid. She has nothing to worry about.
So,
this NBA Finals has to go down as one of the best ones.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Right. Sorry,
a great
keep
way.
Going.
So shout out Scuffed Girlies, Scuffed Podcast. Go look them up. This is by we call ourselves the Scuffed Girlies because I think like in 100 and so of us on the Discord, there's like 7 of us who are women. So then
shout out to the Scuffed women.
Yes, to the girlies. We created the slide deck. We'll have a link down below for you to read, to have the girlies guide to the World Cup. But we're going to shout out a few players. So this is from the slide deck. Again, shout out Scuffed Girlies. First up.
It's funny. I mean, playoffs. I get your brother's reference.
First up, we have Sebastian Berhalter. And then from the Scuffed Girlies, son of the coach during the last World Cup, Greg Berhalter. But not a Nepo baby.
Isn't him and Reina like they...
We'll get to it. To it. Was a nobody until he broke out last season to become the most important player on the Caps. But he's with German legend Thomas Mueller at Vancouver. He's a set piece god, possibly hot, but not confirmed. His star sign is a Taurus, for those who are wanting to know, and may or may not have beef with Gio Reno due to the 2020 World Cup incident. But whatever happened then has been squashed. In the link down below, there's some GeoGate slides. You can fully understand what's going on with Sebastian. What made me, I legit teared up when I watched this. So his father is the former coach. Greg Berhalter used to play for the U.S. men's national team, and then he coached the U.S. men's national team in the last World Cup cycle, then famously got fired after being the first host nation to get grouped in the Copa America. But he did write his son a letter. We have a little section of this letter that Seb is reading from his father, and it's real sweet. And let's watch.
Preparing for a national team camp in 2024 when you asked me if I thought you had a chance to make the roster. And I had to answer honestly. I told you that if you weren't consistently starting for your club yet, it would be difficult to make the national team. And I remember that. And yeah, I needed to hear that for sure. I could see the disappointment on your face, hear the disappointment in your voice. But from that day on, I saw something change. I saw you take responsibility for your dream. From that moment forward, I watched you push harder, work harder, commit yourself fully to becoming the player you believed you could be. That's why making the World Cup team means so much to me, because I know how much it means to you. I've been fortunate enough to represent our country as a player and as a coach in the World Cup, and I know what it means to wear the crest. I know the responsibility, the pressure, the pride, and the emotion that comes with representing the United States on the biggest stage in the world. I now get to watch my son live that same dream. And together we get to share an experience that very few fathers and sons ever will. There's no way to explain how special that is. The World Cup is one of the rare moments when the entire world stops and watches. It's a beautiful stage, but it's also a privilege. One that most people will never know. Enjoy every second of it. Taking the anthem, taking the pressure, taking the joy of competing alongside your teammates and representing something bigger than yourself. Moments like this change your life forever. But no matter what happens on the field, I hope you always remember this. I'm proud of you because of who you are, not because of what you accomplished. You stayed humble through it all. You stayed grounded. You stayed kind. You're becoming an incredible young man. You earned this. I love you, Dad.
Everyone crying?
I swear I told myself I wasn't going to cry. I swear. It means everything. Just to hear Dad, say he's proud of you. It means a lot. And, worked hard for this moment, and to see that. Very nice. Nice.
Oh.
No.
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 Tearing up again.
It was cutting them onions, man. Hey.
Right.
Something about that father-son situation. That being said, if soccer was the number one designated sport in America, we'd have some Bronny and LeBron. Yeah.
Well,
that's really cool.
We do have a son of a famous footballer. Next to one that we're going to highlight here on the team is Alex Freeman, who is the son of Packers legend Antonio Freeman.
Has one of the coolest catches in NFL history to me. Antonio Freeman.
Only in his second professional season, has shark eyes dead inside.
He kind of does. It's a good point.
He's fast.
The scuff girlies are onto something there.
He's fast, from Orlando. He's the youngest on the roster. He's 21. He's anti-siesta, hates naps. I don't know. Ask him.
How can Alex? We got to talk about that. Come on, bro.
And as you can tell, he's quite new to the scene, and hopefully we can all learn some fun facts about him together this World Cup. And this star sign, for those who care, is a Leo. And we have this wonderful video that's going to include his dad just talking about how Alex making a name for himself as Alex Freeman, not just son of Antonio Freeman.
Alex Freeman has been known as the son of Antonio Freeman. That's inevitable when your dad is not only a Super Bowl champion, but a Packers Hall of Famer. Except with the FIFA World Cup on the horizon, he's writing his own story and introducing himself to the world as Alex Freeman, the soccer player.
For me, it's amazing to kind of make my own path, right? But also just to be able to kind of have my own success and be able to kind of succeed in something, that I like, knowing that I always have my dad support behind me as well, knowing that I can play another sport, but be able to kind of, advance the legacy.
And on Saturday at Soldier Field, another chapter was written. Alex took the pitch for the United States' final World Cup tune-up, and in the stands, one proud dad.
He worked hard and he worked consistently, and he just worked his way up through the ranks. I always tell him, be ready when your opportunity comes, because sometimes you only get one opportunity, and his journey this last year and a half has been just that.
A meteoric rise fueled by a breakout MLS season in 2025 with Orlando City, a national team debut, and a move to Spain's La Liga with Villarreal Football Club.
It wasn't a surprise to me when he came on the scene and surprised everyone else, because I had seen the journey. And man, it's just so good to just have this opportunity to be a part of something amazing.
And now at just 21 years old, the youngest player on the United States World Cup roster.
Knowing I can play my first in my home country, I feel like it's something that I can't take for granted, right? We know this opportunity will probably come once in my playing career, and it's how can I take this chance and how can I prove that I deserve to be in this World Cup and hopefully in the future.
Now, of course, there's one part of this story Alex couldn't control, and that's bringing a Packers Hall of Famer into Soldier Field.
I was just telling my dad, I hope none of the Chicago fans are going to kill him today. So,
and while his dad also knows a thing or two about playing on a big stage like the Super Bowl.
This is better. This is far better. This is global. To be known on that global level, and the excitement when you tell people that your son's on the national team, just the excitement globally, it's just amazing.
At Soldier Field, Ashley Washburn.
Go USA! Go Pack, go!
Team J4 Sports.
All right, so here's the thing. him playing a Soldier Field would think he would play bad. No. Ask his dad. The Packers thrived at Soldier Field. So opposite. So Alex probably did well. Also, I always find it funny that he is the son of a wide receiver who's really good with his hands, and he can't use them. So I just find that funny.
Yeah. But that is funny. I was like, I hope that none of the Chicago fans kill him.
No. Knicks fans would.
Knicks fans would.
/
Definitely.
Philly, because, they're Philly plants. So, yeah.
I mean, at least he's not Elmo.
You fence riding son. Well,
all right.
Never mind. I'm not. Nope. There was another joke that I had in my mind about Elmo. We're gonna pass. We're gonna move on.
Move on. Next up, we're gonna highlight. He's one of my favorite players, just because I find him absolutely hilarious. Because he is one of the weirdest players for our team. But I mean weird in such an endearing way. I love this guy, and that is Serginho Dest. He eats a baguette before every game. He wore Chicago Bulls replica outfit to Messi's leaving Barca presser because he used to play for Barcelona.
Right.
He likes zoos, and that right there, if you go to the link that we'll provide down below, you can actually press a link on that, and that's him at the zoo. He's embodiments of fuck it, we ball mentality. Kind of looks blazed all the time. You may think this guy's a little weird, and you're right, but that's his charm. And for those who care, his star sign is Scorpio. Now, one of my favorite things about Serginho Dest is that he does Instagram highlights reels of like him playing after games, whether his team wins or lose. His team can historically lose badly, and he'll have Instagram reel highlights of him playing because he's always balling the fuck out. So like he does something cool. He likes to meg people. He does like really flashy things, but he's a really good player. He's one of those like he can do the flashy things because he's actually good at it. So I just really enjoy this character. He loves zoo. He loves the animals. He's a little weird. Fuck it, we ball. So that is Serginho Dest. And then next up, Alejandro Zendejas. And if you notice, he's a little bit tiny because he's short. Very short. Like think short and then think shorter.
Come on. As a short king, come on.
He's shorter than you.
Us short kings stick together, okay? If you are under 5'11", you're a short king in this
Under
world.
5'11" is not. I would say if you are 5'8", I wouldn't even put a short. 5'7" and below is like short king. So you really are on the short king cusp.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm below average. Pissed me off. 5'8" was the average, which I was okay with. I like to be above average in life, but I got
you're above average for a Cuban man. Cuban men are 5'7".
I blame Wimby for pushing that world average. That's why he lost.
He made you a short king. That's why you're
a short king.
Ale Zendejas. Short, very short. Like think short and then think shorter. Either Alex or Ale, depending on who's talking about him. Honestly, absolutely cooked in the Liga MX this year. And like cooked as in he did real well. He did real well playing for Club America. And if you watch our show, you would see because he's on American Scoring Goals all the time.
Yeah.
He played in the youth teams with Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, and Haji Wright. And he played for Mexico illegally. So they were punished, and then he switched to play for the U.S. Because Ale Zendejas is Mexican-American.
Mexican-American.
It's really funny. So Mexico has two players who are Mexican-American who were born in the United States to Mexican parents that are now representing Mexico. And then we have Ricardo Pepi, who is Mexican-American, born in the U.S. to Mexican parents representing the U.S. And then you have Alejandro Zendejas, who's born in Mexico and representing the United States because he grew up in the U.S. So he's the opposite of like Brian Gutierrez and Owen Vargas, who were born in the U.S. representing Mexico. He was born in Mexico representing the U.S. So fun stuff. And star sign, he's an Aquarius, just like me.
Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius.
So
that's all I know about signs, guys. If you notice, every time you're like, here's a sign if you care. Yeah.
I mean, I literally know jack shit about star signs. So I don't even know about mine. I'm an Aquarius. That's literally all I know.
Yeah. I'm a Cancer. That's fun to put on things.
Such a Cancer. Josh is such a Cancer.
Cancer, guys.
But thoughts on any of these players?
I'm interested to see how Freeman plays, just because just to get out of the shadow of his father, because his father did a lot.
Has a large shadow.
And you can tell it's nice to see the support. Crabbing. Yeah. Two diseases, crabs and cancer. Yeah. I'm aware. I am too, Tushka. Okay, we're same all that. It's great. Anyway, it's cool to see him get out of his Sebastian Berhalter. Obviously, that story with his trying to follow in his father's footsteps is really cool. There, Sergino Dest seems to be really fun at parties. And I can't wait for next week because we're gonna be highlighting. I'm putting in my request for Tillman next week.
You're putting in for Malik Tillman. Okay,
that's my dude. If I gotta look it, I'm gonna wait till a little bit later so they go on sale a little bit, but I'm definitely probably gonna get because the kits look good. I really do like the kits.
You gonna get that black one with the stars?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that Tillman black one. So you better play wood Tillman, but not too good, so your price of your kit stays relatively okay.
Yeah, and he put in his request on who he wants to see. If you want to put in your request either in the comments down below or join our Discord, which the link to that will also be down below, you can let us know who you want us to highlight next week.
Yeah.
But reminder to everyone, World Cup begins tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, with Mexico versus South
Some
Africa.
would say it's almost here.
It's almost here, yeah.
Hey, Derpy Entertainment, thanks for joining.
Thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I have for soccer. Ready to light the lamp?
And I know we're not, obviously, when we're going to table some things, yes, we will be talking about Golden Tempo and Sherry Belmont win as well next week for that. But speaking about winners, speaking about playoffs and finals being awesome,
yeah,
this finals is delivering just as much as the NBA.
Yes, these Stanley Cup playoffs between Vegas and Carolina have been crazy. We talked game one last week, but so far every single game of the series has had a team blow a multi-goal lead. So the Hurricanes blew a 2-0 lead in game one to lose 5-4. Vegas blew a 2-0 lead in game two to then tie it, to then go to overtime, to then lose 4-3. Vegas blew a 4-0 lead in game three with Carolina tying it in the third period 4-4, to then Vegas winning it in double overtime 5-4. And we're going to show a little bit of this third period because you would think Vegas is up 4-0. This game is over. Vegas is going to win. And Vegas did ultimately win, but they won in the hardest way possible. Mm-hmm. So, first up.
So did the Knicks tonight.
Mitch Marner missed a penalty for Vegas. Let's watch.
Marner short-handed. Hacked down by Aho. And this is going to be a penalty shot. It's a different look for Marner. He just took a deep breath, and now he's ready to attack.
For his fourth goal and fifth point of Game 3 of the Cup final. Stopped by Bussy.
Bussy is a far more athletic goaltender than a lot in the league. He'll spread out, and as Marner gets into the blue paint, Bussy's in good enough position to make the stop. Marner wants to go up over that catching glove. It hits the top of the glove, as you see there.
I know his last name's Bussy, but I always read his last name the other way.
Bussy.
That bussy.
Yeah, bussy.
Then Carolina scored 3 goals. 3. Count it. 1, 2, 3.
350.
In 39 seconds. Let's watch.
Played in by Martinook. Jarvis in on the forecheck. Coughlin avoided him. It comes out in front. They score! Jordan Martinook gets Carolina on the board.
A little fight in between two.
Smith went after him. Martinook was on his knees when Smith approached. He's back
What a
on
last
his feet.
name,
He's trying to
Stankoven.
throw a couple of punches.
Yeah.
Turn.
As he gets in on the forecheck along with Jarvis, and when Coughlin overplays the puck, Martinook will slide this underneath the
And
pad.
Stankoven's nickname Stanky.
And Carolina's on the board. It's 4-1. Smith
Oh, that's why he got a little pissed. 22
and
did. He
Martinook are
slapped him
engaged
right after he
after this
scored.
puck goes into the net, and it's 4-1, and really the first good thing to happen to Carolina in quite some time.
Martinook's second of the playoffs. His only other goal was the game winner in overtime in Game 2 in the first round against Ottawa.
I think, okay, they got one in.
Penalty shot
Right,
at the
that's
end
it.
of regulation.
Fine.
That's
Did
it.
not score.
We're still up 4-1.
Yeah, we're still good. We're still good.
Game-winning goal as it turned out in overtime. In all 4 series in this postseason, Carolina won Game 2 in overtime, including this one. Here they come again, and they score again, and they're right back in the game. Hall off a beautiful feed by Aho.
Yeah, that was just a pass.
It's 4-2.
Aho can
with
freaking pass,
12:28
man.
to go.
And that if sometime in the next 5 minutes, Carolina could get another one. A misplay by McNabb, and Stone's not back
Aho
quick
got
enough, but
drilled.
this pass couldn't be better. Aho to Taylor Hall. Hall's only on the ice with
What a
Aho
blast,
because of the
man.
injury
What
to
a pass.
Carrier. They've only got 11
Okay,
Wait,
okay, they
there's
scored
one.
2. We're
Still
good.
two.
game here.
Yes, indeed, we do. In the crowd, you can feel the anxiety.
All this great stuff for Vegas. Now they're on their heels a bit here. It's 4-2.
And they score again from the half wall. Jacob Slavin. This is incredible.
Are hockey announcers your favorite announcers in sports?
4-3
No, I mean, Sean McDonough is a Hall of Famer. Like it's
with 12:18 to go.
he's called football,
Shocker.
basketball,
Another Jordan Stahl
everything. He's just
face-off
really
win.
good at what he does.
Great effort by Robinson to get to the puck. Now, I don't know if Jordan Stahl's going to get a stick on this. Slavin throws it to the net.
He reacted as if he did, and on that replay, it looked like he did. Yeah, it looked like it changed direction.
So then that's the fourth goal wasn't immediately after, but they did go on to score the fourth goal to tie it up, to take it to overtime, to then to double overtime, to then, as we said, Vegas unfortunately winning the game. Boo. Then the Hurricanes blew a 3-1 lead in Game 4 when Vegas tied the game in the second period, but then Carolina scored 2 goals in the third, one being an empty netter, to win Game 4 5-3. So Carter Hart is the only goalie to give up 4+ goals in the first 4 games in the Stanley Cup final history. Can happen to a worst person. The series is now tied 2-2, headed back to Carolina. So Jason, our Carolina Hurricane fan, who is part of our Discord community, again, link down below to join. He was going to join us, but he has a bedtime, so he's not here tonight. But I did ask him, is there anything you would like us to say on your behalf? And he says, fuck you, PK Subban.
Look, as a Predators fan, PK Subban gave me a lot of good memories, but I will obviously defend him, but I also, Jason, we love you. So yeah, have at it. You're, Stahl is playing some good hockey
Yeah.
That goal that he had where he just laid out and to put them up. Because Stahl was kind of been even like during the season, even during the playoffs, but he has been.
But he's at a goal every game.
Yeah, he's electric in these finals.
Yeah. And PK Subban, I know he's going into the bit, and his bit is to wear crazy things on the broadcast. What the fuck was he wearing last night?
I don't know. No, haven't a clue.
Like, I think he's fallen too far in the bit. I think you've gone too far, PK.
Yeah. I mean, you see Cam Newton on First Take, you're like, that's a choice, but
yeah.
All right.
But that is
that's
what I have for hockey. Any final thoughts before we go to the weird?
Thank you for NBA and NHL for giving us two very memorable finals series. Obviously, the Knicks being up 3-1 kind of puts a damper on how far that series is going to go, where this one looks like it's going to go the distance. Carolina, if they win it, congratulations to Tampa Bay Lightning for next year winning it as far as that whole thing. If you know, you know, as far as you follow our show. But this is just really good hockey for what I can understand. But I am entertained very much.
Do you think whatever team is up early in the next game is going to blow the lead again in the next game?
Indubitably. But honestly, from a person who doesn't know puck yet, eventually it will come. Vegas overall looks like the better team, but there's something about Carolina. They will not go away, and they are going to pester you and not go away. But just from outside standpoint. But the thing is, it's tied 2-2, and it's literally been back and forth the whole time.
I also don't know puck very well, but I did win the bracket, so I guess like you can say I know puck. I think Carolina's playing a little bit better. They have the better players. Vegas just had the momentum, and Vegas has the worst goalie, although they did just switch goalies with Carolina. They went from Anderson to Boosie. So I think Carolina has this. I think Carolina has the support of the world behind them.
Right. Yeah, no one really likes Vegas unless you're a Vegas fan.
Yeah. And so I would say at the end of the day, talent is going to win out. And Carolina is a more talented team than Vegas on paper.
Yeah, I'm just telling
paper. If it's a 1-game thing, so like if it's like a March Madness or if it's like a World Cup where it's a single elimination, paper don't mean shit. You could be the better team on paper don't mean shit. But when it's a best of series, paper means a lot more.
Yeah.
And Carolina is the better team on paper.
I can see that. Just for my eyeballs and how these teams have played, it just feels like Vegas didn't have to do as much, whereas Carolina really has to dig in. But that doesn't mean that on paper they're not the better team. So I'm just telling you what my eyeballs see, not what's on paper.
And I think too, Carolina hasn't been punched in the face at all these playoffs because they've literally just been destroying teams on the way to the final.
4 up, 4 down.
Yeah, where like Vegas had a little bit of a harder road to the finals, so that momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's talk about Freddie.
Let's talk about Freddie. Let's get a little weird.
Get
a little weird. Talk about little Freddie from Germany.
Freddie from Germany. He is having an experience.
So, German guy named Freddie is in the U.S. for the World Cup, and he is crushing the American experience. enjoying what our great nation has to offer. People are calling it a historic run. Some people are wanting a 30 for 30 on Freddie and his experiences of the United States. I think that would be entertaining. And we're going to talk about some of the places that Freddie has gone in this beautiful nation. So first, he arrives in Atlanta and immediately starts watching the NBA Finals.
Yeah. As one does. Then he found a German bar in the ATL to watch the U.S. versus Germany game, and then caught a random soccer match in the city. So that's what he's doing there. And I'm going to real quick mute a thing because I'm getting beep, 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 beep on my headphones. So let me do that real quick. We are live. But Freddie, fix it in post. So he caught the NBA Finals. He's catching the U.S. versus Germany game. He's probably excited because Germany won that game. They, I think they were 8 unbeaten in the last 8 games. So I think they brought it to 9. 9. 9. Then he was admiring some trees. He went to a soccer game first. Just found a random soccer game. Then he's admiring some trees. Atlanta's so green, that's crazy. Feels like you're in a forest the whole time. As a person who doesn't know the topography and landscape of Germany, sure, trees, man, they're here.
I mean, there's a black forest in Germany.
I was about to say, there's got to be a forest in Germany.
But maybe he wasn't expecting as much forest in the United States.
Maybe. It's possible.
Maybe it was just like he thought he was going to just see Walmart. And then he's seeing forest.
Oh, he's going to see the Disney World of Walmart. We'll get to here in a second.
Yeah, we'll get there. But first, before that, he went to the Holy Land, Taco Bell.
The Baja Blast. Okay, you did good, Freddie. You did good. You got the Baja Blast. Okay.
Can't fully know what Freddie's orders there is, but great on Freddie's order.
Look, I see it looks like a quesadilla, so he did well there. I don't see a cheesy gordita crunch though.
It looks like he's got chips with nacho sauce.
Yeah. Cinnamon twist would be the better go-to.
Cinnamon twist is the better go-to.
Cinnamon twist would be the better go-to. Obviously,
but he did get the Baja Blast.
He did get the Baja Blast. Okay, so you did good there. This can be improved upon. This is a C+, B-.
It's his first time. It's his first time.
First time. That's why I'm giving him a better grade. I would, if this was a typical order, we'd have a little bit of discussion. Okay, it's a little too basic for me, especially with the nachos and not doing the cinnamon twist.
Yeah, maybe the cinnamon twist are out of frame.
Maybe because it looks like a little bit out of frame. There were some other things that he did, so he might have gotten the appetizer platter. Basically, kind of just got one of each just to see.
And then he did some sightseeing. Our last 2 stops before leaving Atlanta. First, some Stranger Things filming locations, and afterwards, the Martin Luther King National Historic Park.
There you go.
So, there you go. And some of his sightseeing included Stone Mountain, where he goes, "What the fuck is this?" I've been to Stone Mountain. I've been on top on Stone Mountain there and seen the light show. It is Confederate soldiers on the side of a mountain, but it's still a fun place.
It's still interesting.
It's still interesting. I like Stone Mountain. And as you were saying there, like the text is a little small there at the top, but it was a foggy day, so you couldn't really see Atlanta there. But when it is a clear day, you can see the city from Stone Mountain. It's pretty cool. The views are cool. And the views are still cool even if it is a foggy day.
I mean, that's a big mountain.
It's a big mountain. Then he went to Walmart.
He did go to Walmart.
Europeans love going to Walmart when they come to the United States. I don't know what it is. They have a fascination with Walmart.
I don't know.
But then he went to Waffle House.
Yeah. See, this is where he starts. See, but the thing is that people that, because Waffle House is regional, like
Mhm.
one of the most viewed videos of all of Anthony Bourdain's exploits is him going to Waffle House. There's just something about Waffle House. Even Americans that don't go to Waffle House are just like, oh, you're in this part of the country, you got to go to Waffle House. So,
and he's Waffle House where Atlanta, Waffle House on every corner, basically.
Yeah.
So just had our first Waffle House experience at 1 a.m. Perfect time to go to Waffle House.
Yeah.
Great food, great prices, and friendly staff. 10 out of 10 will be coming back. So Waffle House made a believer out of Freddie.
I mean, Waffle House makes a believer out of a lot of people because that sometimes it's just like when obviously there's a Waffle House everywhere here in Nashville as well. It's like every once in a while I was like, I really want some Waffle House, but then again, I don't have time, and I don't want to get it to go.
And both you and I went to WKU, Go Tops.
Go Tops.
And at the time that I was in WKU, the only two places that were open late at night was Waffle House and the Steak and Shake until Cookout came. And then we had 3 places that were open late.
Before my time, but that Steak and Shake at 2 a.m., that was me.
But I mean, have you had Cookout before? Because Cookout.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a Cookout here. Yeah.
We were looking at it, and the closest Cookout to me is in northern Florida. It's too far away. And I kind of miss Cookout. You can get a lot of food for real cheap.
Cookout, you are an artist on what you put on your burger.
You're an artist on what you put on your plate.
Yeah.
You can get a quesadilla as a side.
Yeah, I know. It's like you think Jack in the Box has a weird assortment of stuff. Look at Cookout.
And then he found a German village of Helen and did an alpine roller coaster. So we found a German village in the mountains of North Georgia. I feel right at home.
Yeah.
So he found his people. Found his people. Then he went tubing down the Chattahoochee River.
It gets hotter than a what? That's right. Don't ask why, but it rhymes.
And then he made a stop at Wendy's. So grade on the Wendy's order. He got a lot there.
I typically go with 2 junior cheeseburger deluxes with the $8 big bag now. So I agree. This is basically what I would order. He just got a little bit more. Not exactly sure what he got in that plastic container though. Looks like look at the top there. Looks like some loaded fries is what he got. So
it looks like he was hungry after tubing.
Yeah. I think we're just used to it, and like he's just like, oh my God, you can get all this food.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get all this food here, guys.
But one thing that did overwhelm him was the soda options.
This I didn't realize was not over there. I figured this was over there. Coca-Cola's kind of international, like they're global. So,
but I guess they don't do all of the different types of flavors.
Yeah,
out there.
They can't. Honestly, when we first got introduced to this type of machine, it is overwhelming. So
yeah, it is overwhelming at first, but then you get used to it, and you're like, I can't get this random ass flavor in my Sprite. What?
Remember going to the roller rink and you got around the world?
Yes.
You know, just everything. Yeah, this machine was like, all right, we're going to be here for 30 minutes of me going to every single one of these things.
And then he made it to Chattanooga and went to Chili's to watch the NBA Finals because he said, I'm in the U.S. I'm going to watch the NBA Finals. He's not into hockey, so he's not watching. Maybe because the Oilers aren't in it. Leon Draisaitl, who is German, is not in the playoffs anymore. So maybe he's like, screw hockey. I'm gonna watch the NBA.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Possibilities. He also then headed off to Alabama, and I guess there was no one on the road, and he decided to stop a little bit to put the World Cup trophy.
There's a lot of rural areas in Alabama. So,
but yeah, he said, okay, sure, I'm gonna stop real quick so you guys know I'm in Alabama. There's a sign. Then while at a gas station in Alabama, USM&T's own Chris Richard told him to go to Milo's Burger Shop if he was close by. And Chris, we'll feature him later when we're talking about, but Chris Richards. He's originally from Birmingham, Alabama. So this guy goes to a gas station. Chris is like, I guess the USMNT and other people are following Freddie's adventure as well. And Chris Richards said, go to Milo's Burgers. I've never been to Milo's Burgers.
I've never been to Milo's Burgers.
And I've been to Alabama a few times, but I've never even heard of Milo's Burgers. So I guess next time I'm in Alabama, which I don't know whenever that's going to be, gotta go to Milo's Burger, apparently. Then he made it to Jordan-Hare Stadium to watch a friendly between Argentina and Iceland. And he goes, I love Americans. We were about to walk an hour to the stadium in the rain to save on an Uber. And then the receptionist at the hotel we were parked in front of decided to drive us there.
That's cool. Getting Southern hospitality.
Getting Southern hospitality in Alabama.
Yeah.
And then he puts, this is the most the European mind can't comprehend this moment of my life. One of my friends said, punch me 5 times tomorrow and I'll still think this isn't real. So.
And there they flew, because obviously it's at Auburn. So probably I saw a video of them flying the Eagle.
Yeah. He's like, there's an Eagle.
Yeah. And there's other, obviously, I don't think Freddie experienced it, but other fans experienced the heat of America. And they understand why we have air conditioning here. And they also saw a flyover. So, and they were like, oh.
And it got a beautiful sunset too.
Yeah.
So,
and I know, okay, so some people could take this out of context of him saying the European mind can't comprehend this. It's a stadium. You have stadiums. So I think it's more of the fact that he's at the World Cup. I think it's more of that.
I think it's also being in, like, this is a stadium for college, so not for professionals.
True.
And yet it seats way more than most European stadiums do in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, but what is they Michigan, the big house holds 106. I think the Tennessee holds like 112. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. It's crazy. So like where over there, like I was at Craven Cottage, which was like really nice and like quaint little stadium in London. There's so many stadiums in the United States that are not for professionals that are way bigger.
As we said before we went live, there's some high school football stadiums
in Texas that are crazy.
Crazy.
And then while in Alabama, he went to good old Buc-ee's.
Yeah, this is also overwhelming for Americans too, because Buc-ee's is just now starting to get bigger and bigger.
Because it's the regional.
Yeah, it's very regional. It started at Texas, I believe, but they finally put one in my travels. I've only went there once because I had to grab some stuff for my family. And when I called, I said, look, I've never been to a Buc-ee's before. And they wanted me to get the Buc-ee's because for those who don't know, Buc-ee's has their own stuff. So they wanted me to get the chocolate-covered raisins from Buc-ee's. And I said, look, I've never been there before. Where's the chocolate-covered raisins? And then I hear my dad go, buy the beef jerky. And I said, again, never been to Buc-ee's. So how do I know where the beef jerky is? He goes, ask someone. And, I mean, so you've probably been to a Buc-ee's before. It's the most organized chaos I've ever been in. Like, everyone knows where they're going, but everyone seems like they don't know where they're going.
So he goes, LMAO, this is a gas station, which, yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And then he had dinner at Buc-ee's at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
We can't really tell what he had, so I can't really say what's your grade on his dinner.
He probably got the brisket. If you're going to get a sandwich, you got to get the brisket sandwich. So I'm guessing it's going to be a brisket. Yeah, everyone always goes the first time at Buc-ee's. If you're going to get food, you got to get the brisket sandwich. So I'm guessing that's brisket sandwich. So I will give that typical tourist goes Buc-ee's first time, gets the brisket A on that one.
And that is what we have now for Freddie's Adventures in America. We will keep up with Freddie, and we will let you know what he has been up to next week on Wednesday. So
it's all right, Frey. You can say what you want, but you're Cristiano Ronaldo. That picture, I could tell. It's just Cristiano Ronaldo just going to Alabama. Could you ever think of that? That'd be a fun series, wouldn't it? Just like just Cristiano Ronaldo experiencing the South.
Yeah. Well, he is as because I was going through his stuff when he first arrived, and he was like at the airport, and there was some Ronaldo stuff at the airport. He was just like, I want it all. So he seems to be a huge Ronaldo fan.
Yeah, seems to be. A lot of people are in the world, so
yeah. Usually Messi or Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Ronaldo in the South, you wouldn't think he would not be glommed over, because remember when Messi got to Miami, he was just going through the grocery.
I think he was going. I think that was a little staged, but Messi is not as glommed on as like if he was in Argentina or if he was in Spain. Barcelona. Yeah.
PSG when he was there for like
Ronaldo would probably still be stopped by because he's just like he's gone past just being a soccer thing. He's a global icon. Mm-hmm. It's more like a Harry Kane. Harry Kane could walk down the street and most people in the United States, most people wouldn't know who the fuck he was. Unfortunately.
It also because Cristiano is tall. So he also is a taller figure, so they catch people outside. Whereas Messi, he's a short king. So a lot of times people are like, I guess that's Messi, but he doesn't stand out.
Now, before we get to the moment of Zen, which we have to give a little context to the moment of Zen, where can the people find us?
People find me and Justin talking about wrestling tomorrow, and then the next day, we're going to talk about some Poppy Wars on Friday. With that, me and Sol are going to do our book club with the Poppy Wars.
By RF Kwang?
Yeah. It's okay so far. It's okay. It hasn't gotten to the good stuff yet to me. So. But yeah, you can see us talking about that on Friday. We will bringing back the Fantasy F around in August for that, and obviously we'll be keeping up with the check-in here every Wednesday as we talk about more of the U.S. players that the Scuff Girlies put together, and all the other going-ons. Like I said, we'll be talking about the Brendan Sorsby situation with NCAA football, and Sherry and her crazy journey of being an amazing female trainer in horse racing, and how great Golden Tempo. Totally did not see Golden Tempo winning the Belmont, but here we are. What a horse. But those are the two things that I know I will be talking about next week.
Next week we'll also probably cover Norway's Viking outfits.
Yes. Is it AI? I don't care. It looked cool.
It's not AI.
I'm talking about the background, like with the boats.
No, it's not AI.
What? Okay.
It was not cool. AI. There's footage. There's BTS footage of them doing the photo shoots. So.
Yeah, that Norway stuff was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be covering that. But that's what we got going on. Oh, and then obviously bracket challenge with Aaron every Tuesday. Got that going on. So a lot of stuff going on this channel. Discord's free to join. Link down below, and like, subscribe, ring the doorbell for when we go live.
All the things.
Now,
this was it was back in 2024. Yeah. So 2 years ago, the U.S. Soccer truly is a sponsor of U.S. Soccer, and there was this Weston McKennie ad where he's in the locker room shower, and he has a Truly with him, and he's drinking the Truly while he's taking a shower, and he's dancing while the Truly's in his hand, and then he's pouring the Truly on him, which I guess, that's going to be a real sticky, but you're in the shower, so you can wash that stuff off. Well, Truly is still a sponsor of U.S. Soccer, and we have a new Weston McKennie Truly ad. So that will be our moment of Zen today.
Game, squad, crew, pressure, summer, champion, hovercraft, velvet, party. Cheers.
You talking about Barry? He rolls with it, man. He's got good delivery too. He's got good delivery.
A preview for Weston. He's too good to be the personality hire, but he's the personality hire.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. He brings the vibes. See you later.
Brings the vibes. See you guys next week.
Yeah, it's almost here, guys.